Hello my dear friends and students, I welcome you all. I am John Rizvi from United College of Engineering and Research from the Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities. Our today's topic is verb. Verb is a very basic topic, but we will have to try to inform a lot of things to recover all these things when it comes to communication. As you can see, verb is divided basically into two parts. The first one is finite verb and the second one is non-finite. In non-finite verbs, how we will define this non-finite verb? Non-finite verb does not act as a main verb. These performs very different tasks. The first one is in this category infinitive, the second one is participle and the third one is gerund. And when we are talking about finite verbs, these are also of two types. The first one is main verb and the second one is auxiliary or secondary verb. In secondary verb, as we can see in our slides, the first one is models and the second one is helping verbs. And in the category of main verb, the first one is transitive verb and the other one is intransitive verb. We will try to understand all these different types of verbs. First of all, in English there are a lot of words which can be expressed as a noun as well and as a verb. The first example, Peter bought a ticket. This is a verb here, buy, and the second form is used here. What all about this verb, whether this is a static verb or a dynamic verb? We can further divide a verb into two parts. The first one is a static verb and the second one is dynamic verb. When the verb shows action, this is dynamic, and when it is used to show the state of mind, it is a static verb. So, bought basically showing an action, so this will be a dynamic verb, and the second one, Peter knows me very well. Here know is expressing a state of mind, so this will be here a stative verb. Next, so what are all about helping verbs? Helping verbs are, as the name suggests, helping verbs are used to connect the sentences, and basically these help a main verb. For example, if we talk about to be verbs are is, am, are, was, were, and the other part is has and have verbs, has, have, and had, and the next is do, does, and did. To do verbs, these are called. First example, we have Lee has eaten all the pies. Here has is a helping verb. The next sentence is she does not trust anybody. As you can see, does here is acting as a helping verb. Next, he is walking on the road. You can see is here is helping verb. Then the next slide. What all about modal verbs? Modal verbs are will, shall, must, might, and they are performed and they are used to perform different tasks. For example, if you want to show your capability, you have to use can, and the past form of can is could. And if you have to show the possibility of something, you will have to use may or might. When the possibility is enough and in positive form, you will have to say may, and whenever there is a less possibility, you will have to say might, and to express obligation, you have to use should. Now, the next we have transitive verbs. What are the transitive verbs? Whenever a verb requires an object, basically a direct object, it is called transitive verb. For example, if I say I called, but the object is not given, I called whom? So this is an incorrect sentence because the object is not there and the verb call demands a direct object. So verb call is a transitive verb. Again, if I say Terry introduced her to the manager, Terry introduced her to the manager. So introduce here is another a transitive verb because her here is a direct object. And whenever if I say I agree to the person or I agree with the person, what is the correct preposition? The correct preposition will be with, because with the person we have to use with. I agree with the manager. So the action is transferred into the subject and not object. So agree is basically an intransitive verb. Intransitive verb, as earlier have been told, that they do not require any direct object. The examples of these verbs are keep away, go, sit, agree, dance, gather, hide. Sometimes people say that keep away from, keep yourself away from petty politics. So yourself is not required here because this is an intransitive verb, and with intransitive verb we do not have any direct object. Simply you will have to say keep away from politics. Now we have the another example, the rain fell heavily. The action of fall is transferring into the subject, not object. So this is also an intransitive verb. Again, they gathered in the field. If I say they gathered themselves in the field, so themselves will be treated as an object, so the correct will be, so the sentence will be wrong. So what we have to say, they gathered in the field, and this is sufficient because gather is an intransitive verb. The next we have infinitive. Whenever we used to say all about the purposes, we have to use to and then the first form of the verb. For example, I come here to study. So to after verb of the first form will be infinitive. He does not know how to dance. To dance here, as you can see, to play and to dance. These are infinitives. Next, and why these infinitives are used? Because these are basically used for showing purpose. The next in this category is bare infinitive. What is bare? What do you mean by the term bare? Bare means nothing, that has no value or null. So this is the infinitive which uses no to. The infinitive without to is called bare infinitive. We have some verbs after which we have to use only bare infinitive, that means without to. We have some models like also we have semi models like dare and need. So we do not have to use to after these verbs. After help, would better, had rather, generally we do not require any to. Example, for example, we can say I made him to go. Is this correct? I made him to go. Is there any need to include to here? No. We want to remove to from here. So what will be the sentence? I made him go. Next, she helped me to start a new business. Simply what we have to show? What we have to say? She helped me start a new business. You will have to remove to. What is the concept of, if I say, semi models? Why these are called semi models? Because these can act either a model or a verb. Let us write a sentence here. You do not need to go. What is the role of need here, whether it is used as a verb or a model? We will have to check by checking these whether we are using any helping verb or not. So, as you can see that in this particular sentence we are using helping verb do with need. So, this is here acting as a verb, not a model, because model does not need any helping verb. As you can see, I do not should do it. Is it correct or wrong? This is wrong because should is a model here, and with model we do not have to use any helping verb, and if we are using helping verb, so this will be a verb here. Next, if I say you need not to go, you need not to go. What is the error in this sentence? You will have to remove to from here. Why this is so? Because here need is a model, not a verb. How do you know that? Because there is no helping verb in spite of having not here. So, as you can see, you need not go. And whenever we say that how dare you to say like this, so how dare you, in this sentence also the role of dare is as a model, not a verb. Now, next we have participle. What is the role of participle? What task is performed by a participle? Participle is basically an adjective, and when a verb is used as an adjective, it is participle. Participle of three types basically. First one is present participle, second one is past participle, and third one is perfect participle. Perfect participle. So, what is the format of present participle? How present participle is used? Whenever we use ing form, this is called present participle. Whenever we use the third form of verb, it is called past participle, and the structure of perfect participle is having plus V3, third form of the verb. Okay. How can we use these all in the sentence? The first we have, this is a very confusing question. You should know how to determine part of speech within a sentence. So, what is noun here? Question is a noun, and this word, confusing word, is qualifying this noun. So, it should be an adjective, and as you can see that this adjective is made from the word, and actually this is a verb, from confuse, and we are using ing form confusing. So, basically we are using present participle here. So, confusing here is a present participle. Next, the food was half cooked. Food is a noun here, and the quality of a food of a noun is half cooked. So, basically this is adjective, and whenever we are using third form of the verb, this will be past participle. Next, having completed my work, I left my office. So, as you can see that having and then third form of the verb. So, this is perfect participle. Now, the next we have gerund. Whenever a verb acts as a noun, it is called gerund, and how it is used, how it is formed, we have to use ing form with a noun with a verb to form a gerund. For example, going there is not possible, because a verb, helping verb is used here is. So, there must be a noun for that or subject for that. So, in this particular sentence the subject is going, this is the subject, and we better know that the subject might be a noun or a pronoun. So here going is a word that is acting as a noun. So when it is a noun and it is formed using the verb go, so this will be a gerund. Now next we have smoking is injurious to health. Here again this is the helping verb. Here we have the subject smoking, this is the subject, and this must be a noun, and smoke is a verb and it is formed using a verb, so this is a gerund again. Next, I enjoy traveling. Enjoy is a verb, or what we are enjoying is an object. An object is also a noun or pronoun. So here again this is a noun, and travel is the verb and we are using ing form with the travel. So traveling is gerund. Okay, we have some verbs and these are the verbs. With each of them you will have to use a gerund, not infinitive. For example, if I say in our next slide, these are some phrases with which you will have to use ing form, gerund, not infinitive. The first sentence is the captain is looking forward to play. Whenever you hear this type of sentence, you will basically say that the sentence is no error because it sounds good. The captain is looking forward to play the next 2 games, but this is incorrect. Why? Because look forward is the phrase with which we have to use a gerund, not infinitive. So what is the correct use? The captain is looking forward to playing. Now our next sentence is, it is worth to take a cup of tea. Also worth is the word with which we have to use a gerund, not an infinitive. So what is the correct form? It is worth taking a cup of tea. Next, you should always avoid to use your phone. Again, avoid is the verb with which we have to use gerund, not infinitive. So what is correct? Using. Again, he comes here with a view to study. With a view to study is also a phrase with which we have to use a gerund. He comes here with a view to studying. Okay, let us say a sentence. I enjoyed work with employees. I enjoyed work with employees. As you know that enjoy is a verb with which you will have to use a gerund, not a verb. So this will be working. Next we have exercise, some related questions, we have to correct them all. The first sentence is, being a rainy day, I did not go to my office. What is the error in this sentence? Can you tell me please? The people will say this sounds good, so basically this is no error, but there is an error. What is the error? Here we are using I as a subject, and for this statement there is no subject, and if there is no subject, the subject will be considered the same. So what is the hidden subject? That is also I. So I being a rainy day, I did not go to my office. Is this possible? I being a rainy day? No, this is not possible. You will have to give it a new subject, because I cannot be justify these two terms. So what is the correct subject for rainy day? Because this is a non-living noun, we have to use it. So what is the correct sentence now? It being a rainy day, I did not go to my office. Now the next sentence we have, having taken my breakfast. What is this? having, after having, what kind of verb we have to use? The third form of the verb, and that is perfect participle. Taking is incorrect. Taken. Having taken my breakfast, I went there. Next, it can be seen as a grow business. Business here is a noun, and here is a grow is a verb. Can a verb qualify a noun? No. This must be an adjective. And what is the method to use an adjective from a verb? Either you add ing form or the third form, present participle or past participle. So what will be the correct usage? Growing. It can be seen as a growing business. Next we have, my father does not like half cooking eggs. Half cooking. Okay. This is the sentence where we need a past participle, not a present participle. So cooking is a wrong usage. What will be the correct statement? Cooked. So my father does not like half cooked eggs. Next, you had better taken a rest. Had better, would better, had rather, and would rather. These are the phrases with which we have to use the first form of the verb, not the third. Doesn't matter, it is using had here. You will have to use the first form, and that is take. Next, had you met him, he would talk to you. This is basically the type of conditional, past conditional sentence. So whenever you are using had in the starting, this means if you had met. So there is no difference if you say had you or if you had. The same things are written here. Next, whenever you are using had here, you will have to use would have in the other phrase. He would have talked. This is the correct statement. Now next, she talks as if she is my mother. As if is the phrase with which we have to use were as a helping verb, because this is something which is imaginary. This is not true. She talks as if she is my mother. So because this is imaginary, we have to use were only. Next, the dog I had its food. Sometimes people will say 3 times had. Oh my god, this will be an incorrect statement. How can triple had will be used here? But this is a correct statement. So there is no error. Why so? We will have to understand the function of have. Have can be acted in many ways. The first one is as a helping verb. The second is possession. The third is as a main verb. Whenever I say have your lunch, means take your lunch. So here have is main verb, and the last one is like a model. And whenever it acts like a model, we have to use to. So has to, have to. So in this particular sentence, the dog I had, first had is possession, second had, first had, second had is helping verb, and the third one is main verb. So the sentence is no error. Now the next sentence we have, you need not to worry about his studies. Need not, negative sentence, and there is no helping verb. So this is a model here. Need here is a model, and whenever you are using a model here, you will have to remove to from there. So what is the correct statement now? You need not worry of his studies. And the last sentence is study hard lest you will fail. Whenever you are using lest or otherwise, what is the difference between these two terms? Lest always take should with it, and otherwise always take will. So, we are using lest here. So, the correct form will be you should. Okay, my dear friends and students, we will come back with our next topic, and this is time to say bye bye. Thank you.